So you're trying to become the first millionaire in your family and break the cycle that's limited your life, but you don't know where to start, and you're watching Tony Robbins and Gary Vee seminars and every motivational video you can find. You might even be going to Instagram or TikTok to find financial education, but nothing really gives you that edge to break through. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 7 pieces of advice that I would give to you after making tens of millions of dollars online and scaling multiple successful companies. And most importantly, I'm going to give you the secrets that were given to me and proven to be successful by multiple entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos and Alex Hormozi. And no, it's not going to be that typical bullshit advice like don't buy Starbucks so you can save $5 here and there. This is for the people who know they have that drive but need a few extra pieces of the puzzle to make their first $1 million. This video isn't just for you. It's for your friends and even your family. You see, when I first started out just like you, I knew I was destined for more. I knew that this wasn't all life had to offer. And so today's video is all about giving you the fundamental tools you need to start implementing to become successful. And we sure as hell aren't gonna get there by putting our money into a 401k or saving our way to the top like Dave Ramsey recommends. That's a scarcity mindset, and we want an abundant mindset to attract more wealth. So the first step to becoming a millionaire is to learn a high income skill. Now, what is a high income skill? Well, it's a skill that can generate a company or individual more money in a very fast way. You see, a lot of people are under the impression that you need to be an entrepreneur or a business owner to make your first $1 million. And while, yes, I do believe that's an amazing route, and I took it myself, I personally have multiple employees that I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars because they provide me with skills that generate me more money. And if they're making me more money, then it's worth paying them more over time. Now, what are some of these skills? Well, copywriting, content creation, sales, and tracking analytics in a Google Sheets, that's a few good ones. But there are tons of different high income skills you can pick. You just need to find the one that fits your style the most. Which is why I actually made a free video covering 7 different side hustles you could start today, which could generate you easily over $10,000 a month and have you on the way to your first $1 million. I'll make sure it's linked at the end of the video for you guys so you can watch that next. But right now, I need you to focus, because your ability to focus on one task for a long period of time could be the difference in you making $5,000 a month and $10,000 a month. I know going out with your friends is fun and starting that new business is exciting, but you need laser focus when you first start. Yes, most millionaires have multiple streams of income, and even I have multiple companies, but I have more resources and knowledge than you. I know this is a contradiction to what most people say, but when you first start out, you want all your eggs in one basket. Whatever high income skill you pick, you're gonna want to become a master at it. This will not only generate you more income in the long run, but it will also speed up the process to your first $1 million. You can't do that if you're chasing 4 different things at the same time, because you only have a certain amount of hours in a day. Once you have your first successful business, then you can branch out. Then you can do the fun projects. But for now, let's pick one and make sure you're the best at it. Which brings me to my next topic, drinking. How do you expect to be the best at something if you're wasting an entire day every week completely hungover? Now, I can tell you right now, I absolutely love a good drink. But when you're first starting out, do you really think going to a bar and spending $150 on drinks is a smart play? Let's say you get 5 cocktails, which is pretty easy to do at $15 a piece. That's $75 right there. And if you're buying a few drinks for a lady or some friends, that can easily hit the $150 plus mark. Over the course of a month, that's $500 or $600 you don't even have now to invest back into your company or yourself. Not to mention the lack of mental clarity and focus you have the next day. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to not go out every now and then and have some fun, but let's make sure it's in moderation. Now, I know there's a billion ways to become successful, and nobody online can guarantee your success. But I will say, if you're really serious about wanting to make your first $1 million, the steps outlined in this video will help you out. So that brings me to tip number 3. Attention and money are one and the same. So what does that mean? Well, a few things. But first, where everyone's attention is, there's always money to be made. Now, of course, there are outliers. But generally speaking, you're gonna make more money in something like content creation or trading than you would walking dogs. Why? Well, because more people use the internet every day than needing a dog walker. So there's more demand for that service. Make sure whatever you're picking has a big enough audience to be able to make good money in. Now, this also goes for attention. Wherever you are putting your attention is going to depict how much money you make. I know a lot of people are going to argue with me on this one, but if you really want to make your first $1 million, why on earth are you spending 2 hours a day playing video games? Not only is that going to cause you to spend more of your hard-earned money, but it's also going to take away valuable time that you could be spending working on achieving your goals. And if you're truly tired of repeating the cycle, then you'll take the steps you need to free yourself. There's a reason that most people won't see $1 million in their lifetime. And for a lot of people, it won't even be because they're lazy. It will be because they weren't willing to make the sacrifices needed to see the success. So you really need to ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to achieve your dreams? But let's make sure it's not at the cost of someone else. Because tip number 4 to making your first $1 million is reputation is everything. You see, reputation is one of the few things in life that just can't be bought. You're always gonna have the opportunity to make more money, but your reputation, once tarnished, is almost impossible to rebuild. So the next time you think about cutting someone out of a deal, or fucking over your business partner, or even just doing something you know is wrong, remember, your reputation will live with you for the rest of your life. Even if it was just one person, people will talk, and your reputation will continue to spread. But no, this goes both ways. Which brings me to tip number 5. Always over-deliver. If there's one thing that almost everyone enjoys, it's getting more than they ask for completely free. Now, I know this is a super simple concept, but it's held true for me time and time again. It's the little things that can really separate you from your competitors. Something as simple as replying fast to a client could really mean the world to them. Now, in a world where everyone is trying to just take, the fact that you went out of your way to give will not only say a lot about you as a person, but to the service you provide as well. Tip number 6. Nothing's possible until you actually see it. Now, you might be seeing it online, but seeing it in person brings a whole new meaning to it. Remember that Starbucks drink that random business coaches told you not to get for $5? Well, I'm actually going to advise that instead of going to that Starbucks and paying $5 for that drink, you go to the fanciest hotel or restaurant that you can find, buy yourself a coffee for $10 or even $15. I'm guessing you're thinking, dude, that's ridiculous. That's 10 extra bucks, and you just told me not to go out drinking? But you know what the coffee shop has that the bar doesn't? An extremely wealthy individual with $300,000 slapped on his wrist. And what does this do? Well, it not only puts you in a place where you can network, but it also shows what real wealth looks like. When you sit down in a coffee shop like that, you're gonna realize that most of the truly wealthy individuals don't wear flashy brands. And most of the time, they are very under the radar. When you look at wealthy people and the way they walk, they talk, and act, you're not only gonna start absorbing it, but it's going to make it feel more attainable to you. If all you see on a daily basis is $1,000 in a Toyota Prius riding down the street, how do you expect to truly change your life? By surrounding yourself with people like this constantly, it not only changes your entire perspective, but starts to rewire your brain to see success more frequently. Even if you don't want to sit down for 45 minutes at a coffee shop, go take your next walk with your dog in a wealthy area. The goal here isn't to change your life in a day. It's to slowly rewire your subconscious to see that this life is possible. And please don't give me that excuse that you don't have time when you're sitting down doom scrolling for 2 hours every day. There's an old expression that holds true. Entrepreneurship might be hard, but so is showing up to a job every day that you hate. Getting in shape might be hard, but so is obesity. Being financially disciplined is hard, but so is being poor. So pick your hard, get up off your ass, and get the work done. Every day we get a choice on whether or not we want to take a step forward in life or go backwards. There is no such thing as staying stagnant because everyone around you is moving. So even if it's a small step, let's make sure we take it forward. Which brings me to my 7th and final tip for you. First, if you've made it this far in the video, I want you to give yourself a huge pat on your back. Not only does it show that you're committed to yourself, but it shows you have the drive and focus needed to be successful. So what is my very last tip for you today? Invest in self-education. Now, it truly doesn't matter if it's a seminar, a book, or even a course you bought online. So let's say you spend $100 or $1,000 or maybe even $10,000 and you only learn one thing from that entire course. Well, if this one thing you learn increases your ability to earn more money over the next 5, 10, or even 20 years, then it was really worth it. Especially when you're starting out, investing $100 into the stock market isn't gonna get you very far. But this $100 invested in yourself could have a compounding effect. Let's say you spend $100 on a course and that gives you the ability to make an extra $20 your first month. Well, that $20 worth of knowledge can easily turn into $1,000 or even $10,000 as you continue to fill up your pipeline. It's all about filling in the blanks you don't have until you finally make your first million. And not only does knowledge give you the ability to act on things quicker, but it also helps you test and fail quicker too. You can't look at your failures in a bad way though. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to succeeding. So start failing faster. And I know I said that we're only going to be 7 tips, but I actually have one more for you. It's super simple. I need you to believe in yourself. There are going to be hundreds of people trying to tear you down and tell you can't do this. This can be a very lonely journey, and I need you to know you've got this. I hope you got some value from this video, and I love you all. Peace out.